Hey, what's up, everybody? Crystal Clear 101 here with yet another toy review. I figure instead of doing 5 separate videos for this, I'd go ahead and do these all in one video. But this is a set I'm personally excited to be reviewing now. But this is the Alien action figure set released by Funko and Super7 under the ReAction name. Now, first off, I will be going over each individual figure as far as the front card art is concerned, because each one's got different card art. But let me go ahead and just show that this all 5 figures have the exact same packaging on the back. So, this is the only time I'm going to be going over that. But the reason why I'm excited to get this little set here, get this little set reviewed, is for the following reason. I am a big fan of the Alien franchise. And in addition to that, I don't want to bore everyone here, so I'm just going to try and keep this real short. Back in 1979, Fox Studios released Ridley Scott's Alien. And considering that they saw that as the next big thing, Kenner was going to release a series of toys based off of Alien, considering they saw the success of Star Wars. Well, Kenner got one toy produced, and it was a 12-inch Alien. Now, that toy got recalled shortly after it was put on the market because parents were complaining that it was a toy based on an R-rated movie. Now, Kenner did also produce a series of 3 3/4-inch figures, but they never got past the prototype stage. They never made it to full production. Now, what Funko and Super7 did was they got the rights to actually make these individual figures. They got to make production versions of the prototypes. And one interesting thing to note is that for the okay, let me go ahead and focus in on that. But the way that they stylized ReAction, it's the same lettering that they use for Kenner. Matter of fact, I'm trying not to bend this card too much, but right up here, even the coloring of it is done of the way Kenner was done. But what they did was they made all 5 figures. They did production versions of all 5 prototype figures. They released these specifically for collectors of either the retro action figure line, for people who collect retro action figures. But these were more aimed towards fans of Alien, the ones that knew about the prototypes that came out. Because the 5 prototypes that they made were Big Chap, the Xenomorph, the Alien, the main antagonist, Captain Dallas, Ash, Kane, and of course the main protagonist, Ripley. Now, with that being said, let me go over each individual card art for each figure, and then I will go over each individual figure itself out of the packaging. With that being said, let's go ahead and go from this, and let's go ahead and start off with Big Chap. Alright, we're going to start off with the main attraction for this line, which is Big Chap, which is the Alien itself, the Xenomorph. Now, first off, I love this card art, and this card art is meant to resemble more like the vintage Kenner Star Wars line of figures. I mean, even right behind the figure, there's a black square for the figure to go over. But what's interesting to note is that there are actually 2 slightly different packaging styles. There's this, which is the black card, and then there's also a first release, which was also a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, that was a blue card backing. And from what I understand, the original Kenner prototypes had the blue card backing, which is interesting to note. And also, as far as the Alien itself is concerned, before I take them out, there is a slight color variation of this one. Now, the one I have here is kind kind of a light medium gray color. There is also one that is a solid black color, and the black one's actually harder to find. But as I said, this is just a great picture of the xenomorph itself, of the alien. So as far as the card art is concerned, I absolutely love this one. This is probably my single favorite out of all 5. Alright, the next one I have up is Ash, and although this is still another cool shot of the xenomorph itself, this is probably my single least favorite as far as the 5 different ones go. Why? Because the actor who played Ash in Home, he would not, from my understanding, they would not give them permission to use his likeness for the card itself. So as far as that's concerned, this one is a bit of a disappointment just because they didn't show the character. However, again, still another great shot of the xenomorph. However, if you do look right there, you can actually make out part of the skull where the eye socket is, which I think is pretty awesome. But as far as the card art is concerned, this one is the least impressive. But again, it's still another great shot of the xenomorph itself. Alright, the next one up in the lineup is Kane. Now, I do like the card art for this one. The fact that it shows Kane peering over the xenomorph edge just before the facehugger itself launches out. Now, the card art for this one is awesome. I know as far as the 4 human figures are concerned, this one is probably my single favorite. Why? Because it shows Kane in the Nostromo spacesuit. Now, you gotta admit, even though this is done up in the classic 70s style action figure way, that looks just flat out awesome. Now, as far as the figures are concerned, this is probably my second favorite right after Big Chap. But as far as the human characters are concerned, this one's my single favorite, and they also put a very cool shot to go with the figure. So this one I really like. Alright, here's the next one up in this line, which is Captain Dallas, the main captain of the Nostromo in Alien. Now, this is a fantastic shot of the main character itself, and the figure itself, it doesn't look too bad for what it's supposed to be. But as far as just a basic shot of the main character itself, outside Big Chap, that one is just fantastic. So I really like that one. And last but not least in this lineup is our main protagonist, our main heroine, Ripley. Now, first off, I think that is just a fantastic shot of Sigourney Weaver as Ripley. It's a bit of a more action-packed shot with her holding the little motion detector along with a flashlight. And as far as the figure itself, I mean, it's not the best face sculpt that they did, but considering that, you know, this is supposed to be based on a prototype from 1979, I think they did a decent job for the time. Now, with that being said, I am actually going to go ahead and open each one of these, and I will review each individual figure itself. I'll be back in just a second. Alright, here's Big Chap out of his packaging. Now, just as far as overall appearance goes, this is probably my single favorite out of all 5 figures. Now, before I go any further, let me go ahead and say that these are meant to replicate the original 1979 prototypes. And because of that, these have the exact same articulation as any action figure from that time period would be. Which in this case would be a swivel head, swivel shoulders, swivel hips, and in the case of Big Chap here, a swivel tail right at the base. Now, this is the only figure that does have technically two gimmicks. The first one, as you can see, he does have the transparent dome on the top. Now, these little spots that you see right along through here, now, on the back of the card, it does say that to his evil brains glow in the dark. However, you can remove this, and it does have a reasonably good fit on the head, although I'm probably going to leave the rubber band on it. But there is a little slide right through here. You slide it forward, and it's supposed to mimic his biomechanical tongue, which doesn't really look like a biomechanical tongue. There we go. But, I mean, all in all, this is really not a bad figure. I mean, if you like xenomorphs, then I think you'll like Big Chap here. Now, for a figure out of 1979, he does have some decent detailing on him. And one more thing I will go ahead and point out is that along his legs right here is his copyright information. Let's see if I can't focus in on that. But right up here it's got trademark and copyright 2013 Fox. And here's got made in China. The originals would have been made here in the US. And then it's got June 2013. I'm guessing that's when this figure was made. But I mean, all in all, this is not a bad figure whatsoever. If you like xenomorphs, I get them. Now, with that being said, let me go on and move on to the next figure in this set. Next up is our main protagonist, which is Ripley. Now, her only accessory is a flamethrower. And, you know, as I said before, based on a prototype from 1979, I mean, they did their best, you know, trying to make the flamethrower from Alien. But, I mean, they did a decent job as far as getting her overall appearance goes. As far as her copyright information, just like on Big Chap, it's right on the back of her legs. Now, I mean, overall, I mean, I'm not disappointed with it. I mean, if these figures had come out back in 1979, and as much of an Alien fan as I am, I would try and find these figures myself. But all in all, not a bad figure. I like this one. Up next in this set is Captain Dallas. Now, he's the only other figure that comes with a flamethrower as his accessory. But, I mean, this one, again, based on a 79 prototype, they did what they could. You know, especially given the limited technology as far as making toys go back then goes. But, I mean, if you want to get technical, I mean, they did, you know, a fair job as far as getting his likeness goes. But what I really like about this one personally is on the back of his jacket, it actually does say Nostromo on the back. And I think that's just flat out cool. And along with this one, I only know of right offhand like one more Captain Dallas, and that one's going to be a NECA figure. And I can't wait to have that one to go with this one. With that being said, let's go on to the next figure in this set. But I like this one. I do like this set so far. Up next in this set is the synthetic android Ash. Now, as I said about this one, they didn't use the actor's likeness for this card, which kind of sucks because you can't compare and contrast. And this one, to me, really does not look like Ash. I mean, even with it being based on a prototype. But he's the only other accessory figure that comes with an accessory, which is this motion tracker right here. And considering this is the only way you can really have it positioned, I mean, it's not the most exciting accessory, but he does come with the motion tracker, which you do see in the movie. But, I mean, his color pattern is nice. It's nice and attractive, the light blue with the white long shirt sleeves. You can tell that's supposed to be a Nostromo patch on his right shoulder. Right down to his white sneakers. I mean, all in all, he's not a bad figure still. And if you are a fan of this character, more likely than not, this is probably going to be your only real way to get a figure of Ash. Because as I understand, the actor who plays him is a bit of a prick when it comes to him, you know, giving out his likeness. So if you want a figure of Ash, this is going to be your best chance other than a custom that someone does. But still, not a bad figure. And the last figure in this set is Kane in the Nostromo spacesuit. Now, as far as the 4 human figures are concerned, this one is my single favorite. Now, This does have very nice detailing on the suit itself. Now, let me go and say when I took my figure out of the package, his left arm was already loose. But that really doesn't matter since his arm's going to be in that position for the most part. He does have a slot in his right hand for a weapon, but he really didn't come with an accessory. However, his helmet right up here is removable. So you can see Kane without his helmet. Now, as far as his overall detailing goes, I mean, for a figure out of 79, he looks fantastic. Now, as far as the 5 figures are concerned, Big Chap's number 1 for me. Kane here is number 2. Now, just the fact that he's in that signature spacesuit along with a removable helmet makes this figure a flat-out win for me. And the best news, from what I understand, NECA is doing a version of Kane where the face hugger's actually on his face. We might not be getting his face per se, but we will be getting a more modernized version of this spacesuit, of this character, which is awesome. Now, with that being said, let me go ahead and give you my personal opinion of the whole set, of the set as a whole, rather. And what's my verdict on this set as a whole? In my personal opinion, Funko and Super7 nailed this set with absolutely no issues. I mean, they captured the original likeness of the 79 prototypes, right down to the overall look, the articulation. And if you're a big fan of Alien, and you're aware of the original 79 prototypes, this is a great way to add these figures into your Alien collection, or your vintage action figure collection. Now, you can pick up this same set on BigBadToyStore.com, the same set of 5 for $64.99. Now, in my personal opinion, I feel like that's just a little high for this set. But if you're a die-hard collector, do not pass up on this set. I personally give it 2 thumbs up for this set. I'm happy to have this set in my collection. If you're a fan of Alien, you will not be disappointed. But if you're looking for detail, looking for articulation, then you may be disappointed with this set. But if you're looking for just the original set to add to a collection, you will not be disappointed whatsoever. But that will wrap up my review on the 1979 Alien ReAction figure line. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe.